Hello, it's Shallon, and today we're going to talk about all things college, namely roommates. Now, going away to college is super exciting, you're free, you have all this freedom, it's amazing, but roommates put kind of a wrench in the whole machine. And even if you've grown up with siblings, and sometimes that makes it harder, but you might think it's going to make it easier, not always, because your siblings you love, and your siblings are a very elastic relationship. Like, you can shove them and cut their hair off one day, and they're still going to love you, they're still going to be there, and the relationship is going to go up and down. Roommates are not like that, especially if it's a friend that you're living with. So here's how you can kind of make the best possible living environment with someone you may know or someone who might be a random. First of all, I strongly caution you about living with friends. And the older you get, the more of a universal truth becomes that, like, you can't always live with your best friend. You might love them like a sister, but when they're in your house 24/7, things go bad. A lot of relationships, I mean, in my own life too, have been completely ruined when I've tried to live with someone. So I think the reason that is because there's too much closeness that you don't feel like you can be bluntly honest with someone. And blunt honesty is the foundation of a harmonious living environment. So when you first move in with someone, whether it's a friend or whether it's a random, sit down and go through a list of everything that needs to be done in the house on a daily basis, from cleaning, buying the toilet papers, buying the Q-tips, washing the bath mat, watering the plants, and try to divide up the labor as much as you possibly can. She might not mind cleaning the bathroom. I hate it. I won't do it. But, like, she might hate to cook. That's great. I'll cook all day and all night. Really kind of figure out where you guys stand. And the things that you cannot come to an agreement on, see if you can just hire it out. Like, my old roommates and I hated to clean. Well, I didn't hate to clean. I hated to clean up after them. So we just got a cleaning lady. It was $70 a month. We split it. It was worth it. It saved us so much stress and so many fights. Also, like, while you're doing this, be very honest about what you can tolerate and what you can't. If you are not cool with her having her boyfriend over, having loud sex, like, multiple nights a week, you need to say that up front. Because if you act like, no, it's fine, I want you to be happy, and then you blow up one day after Chad's been there for 4 days straight, it's going to be hard to come back from that. It's much easier to hammer all this out in the beginning rather than try to undo the damage after a huge fight, or, like, even worse, oh my God, is like weeks of low-key tension and that passive aggression and, like, the passive-aggressive notes. Ugh, it's horrible. So have these tough conversations right up front, and then hopefully you won't have to keep having tough conversations. Also be very clear about what your personal boundaries are. Like, I would always lock my door when I would go out of town when I lived with my old roommates, and they would get really mad. And I was like, why do you need to be in my room if I'm not there? They're like, why do you need to lock it? I'm like, why do you need to be in my room when I'm not there? So they couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. And if I had just gone in and been like, you know what? I'm an only child. This is my private space. I don't snoop through other people's things. I don't want people in my business borrowing my clothes if I don't know, because then I feel like I'm going crazy if I can't find something. Whatever it is your particular biorhythms are, it's fine. It's completely fine. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to explain, but you do need to be honest, both with them and yourself, because like I said, if you're not, it's going to lead to so many more problems down the road. My biggest tip, though, for having roommates is buy earplugs. Buy earplugs, buy earplugs, buy earplugs. When I moved in with my freshman roommate, who was a random in the dorms, and we ended up being great friends. She was amazing. I love her to this day. My mom gave us each a little, like, gift bag that had, like, the little eye shades, like cozy socks, and earplugs. And I swear to God, that is why we ended up being such good friends. It's because, like, I couldn't hear anything, so I slept well. And you don't realize how sleep disruption is, like, the root of so many conflicts with your friends. And it's also difficult if you're in a different financial situation than someone. Maybe you have more money, maybe you have less. Be a little bit more upfront about that. Be like, look, I'm down to split groceries, but, like, I'd really rather we shop at, like, Costco in bulk rather than go to, like, Gelson's and get, like, the fanciest organic lemons that we can possibly find. And again, if someone's not into that, make sure they tell you. Because if you set up this environment of blunt honesty right out of the gate, it's going to be easier for them to do the same. And the reason it's easier for guys to live together and they tend to get along so much better is they can be like, clean up your fucking macaroni and cheese plate. It's been sitting there for 4 days. Girls can't do that. We're like, do you remember that time that you made Easy Mac and, like, I don't know. I feel like it might still be, it's just this like vague, passive aggressive abyss of feelings and terribleness. But if you can just set up a situation where it's like, Carly, clean your shit up. Thanks. I still love you. We're still friends. Clean your shit up. You're going to be so much happier for it. So just to recap, caution, maybe don't necessarily live with your friends. I know it feels like it's a good like safety blanket, especially when you first go away to college, you have someone there, and it is, and it's so fun to live with your friends. But if you do that, it's almost more important to have these tough conversations. Don't assume that you're on the same page, because I guarantee you, you're not. Even if you love someone like a sister and you spent the night at her house, shit gets really real and really different when it's your environment together and there's no mom and dad. Just trust me, I don't lie to you. Be blunt, be honest, be realistic about what you guys can accomplish in the house together, and buy earplugs. For more, check out my playlist on back to school and college. I also have a playlist on being popular and reinventing yourself, which is something I know a lot of you guys are thinking about as you're getting ready to go off to university or even back to high school. And for more, obviously click subscribe. Follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at ShallonXO. And if you have a love question or any kind of question of your own, submit it right here on YouTube as a message or a comment. No DMs or snaps or anything like that. And I'll get to them, I promise.